Julie Abra at my speeches on breed-specific banning. My audience today is Pablo 19, Branson 15, Rico 42, Angel 18, and Jessica 17.
Okay.
By definition, breed-specific legislation or banning is a blanket term for laws that either regulate or ban certain breeds completely in the hopes of reducing dog attacks. It's been a popular thought process in the past decades for controlling violence across the world, dog violence. Public opinion believed by gaining control of a few of the most newsworthy breeds, the people would be safe again. There have been breed-specific bans put in place and tested over time in many areas. The ASPCA feels that breed-specific banning is actually breed-specific discriminatory banning. Canine breed-specific banning is not an effective form of controlling canine aggression, biting, or fatal attacks, in my opinion. Why do people think a ban is necessary? Dog bites get a fair amount of media attention, especially the breeds of dogs that have been involved in fighting rings or were gangster favorites in the 80s and 90s. People have developed a fear of specific breeds. They feel these bans would promote safety. That's a result of narrow-minded thinking. If they did their research, they would see that all dogs are capable of biting in certain situations. So what research has been done, and does it show the bans are effective? Cases that do not support breed-specific bans are documented all over the world. Sadly, there was a case last year where a 6-year-old girl was mauled by 5 dogs. None of those dogs were on the breed list. That was reported by Tim Main. Reported by Understandable.com was a case in Maryland. They had a ban in place, and the task force found that while the county spent more than $250,000 each year to enforce the ban, that public safety has not improved. The Center of Disease Control lists fatalities from dog bites, but they don't categorize them by seriousness. They range from a bite that got infected with bacteria to a fatal attack on an owner. This does not accurately portray the bite fatalities unless you delve into the details. That was also reported by DogbiteLaw.com. There's simply no way to monitor certain breeds of dogs and/or all dogs that might bite or attack. The breed violators are all across the board. I even found several articles stating a Chihuahua fatally mauled an infant. So canine behavior is largely due to its environment and training. Not the dog's breed. The dog owners who do not properly train their pets are negligent in many of the bites and attacks. I've seen many versions of the saying, blame the lead, not the breed, and it's true. Banning certain breeds give the public a false sense of security. Another study by American Veterinary Medical Association concluded that banning so-called dangerous dog breeds could have the effect of engendering a false sense of security, reported by the Sunday Star Times. The general public has had a hard time identifying the breeds, as many of them look similar. This leads to misidentifying dogs or conveniently lumping them into breeds that are associated with attacks. Mixed breeds are also targeted, so you can see how identifying a dog starts to get confusing. In the United States, jurisdictions have either banned or put discriminatory restrictions on one or all of the following: Bulldogs, Staffordshire Terriers, American Pit Bull Terrier, Bull Terrier, Chihuahua, Chows, Doberman Pinschers, German Shepherds, Miniature Bull Terriers, Staffordshire Bull Terrier, Rottweiler, and Wolf hybrids. These ordinances target mixed breeds as well, but specifically noted that Pit Bull is not a breed. The statistics are not necessarily accurate. Many bites are not reported, and attacks by dogs dramatized by the media to be vicious receive the most coverage. One of the most serious deficiencies in reporting pertains to the nature of the particular attack. Another is the extent of the damage inflicted on the victim. Even though not all bites are reported, the victims don't necessarily know the breed that bit them when they are, and we don't know exactly how many dogs of any one breed live in the United States. DogbiteLaw.com reported that. What are some alternatives to breed banning? One solution is to educate people on dog behavior, especially the children. There are several community programs available to educate kids on how to approach a dog and what to do if that dog becomes aggressive. A second solution would be to get pets spayed and neutered. Reported by the ASPCA, more than 70% of dog attacks involve unneutered male dogs. Training and restraining your pet is another solution. Even guard dogs need to be restrained in a fenced area as to not get loose. And lastly, do not chain your dog up. Dogs on chains are more likely to bite as it increases their stress, their protectiveness, and vulnerability levels. American AmericanHumane.org reports that. In conclusion, I've talked about why people like the idea of breed-specific banning. We went over a small amount of research that's been conducted, and the research concluded that bans were costly and ineffective at reducing dog aggression and attacks. There were several reasons we discussed about why the bans don't work, such as breeds can bite. Since all breeds can bite all people, people don't really know how to identify the dog breeds, and the owners lack responsibility and training. We also went over some alternatives to the bans that could bring better results. Overall, I believe that the case is strong to prohibit breed-specific banning for its ineffectiveness. The lack of results and solid facts supporting such bans is slowly leading to a change in thinking. And with dog fighters and abusers being punished, people are starting to realize that dogs are not inherently evil, although their owners may be. Thank you for considering my points.